Hey guys, I don't really know how to do intros. It's been a while since I watched Sketchbook tour, so I don't even know. But so without further ado, I don't want to go on a long ass tangent over an intro, so let's just get right in. So, this is the cover of my sketchbook. I painted it all by myself with Arctic markers, so the acrylic ones that look like this. Oh, that's upside down. Sorry. They look like this. It's based on the series that I'm working on. It was originally called The Daydream, but now it's called The Drift because Daydream is that's not what the series is all about. I originally named it because this is my OC Joy, and she has mouthed after Daydream, and she's the main character, but it focuses on other aspects of too, not just that. And it's lost in thought. I wrote those words because I get lost in thought. And when I started the sketchbook, I was like in the not phase, but it was where my daydreaming became addictive. But it stopped shortly after, so I was trying to replace daydreaming as a way to fill out my sketchbooks. And you'll see that as like some goals and stuff. And when Joy daydreams, she daydreams of a world that looks like outer space, but more vibrant and colorful. So that's what the background it is. And the sketchbook is already black, which is good. And I'm surprised it works well here. And I did flip back to, yes, I love Ragnarok, and Wimby is my favorite character. He's the best. He's like my companion, and I love him so much. Anyway, I got all these from Amazon, and I just love these stickers, and they're cute, and they're SpongeBob. So let's just get into it. So this is what it looks like. Hold up, I didn't really. There it is. Okay, so these are my goals. A gumball sticker and a movie sticker. Yeah, you movie. Sorry. So these are my goals. Focus. Thank you. Draw more animals, which I did. Draw scenes of perspective, I try to do. Color whole pages, I've been able to do that. All of them. Yes. Yep, you see there? Here's that goal I wanted to do that I just explained. Practice storyboards. I did that recently for like my pilot episode for my series. I didn't do that in this sketchbook, but I had a separate. I recently got for Christmas got a separate. My thought just drifted away. I'm sorry. For Christmas I got a separate sketchbook right before I was finishing this one. And I was happy at first, but then the paper was like crappy and it only works with like dry media, so I got bummed at first, but then I was like, wait a minute, this is a good opportunity to storyboard. So I was storyboarding, and I still am storyboarding for my pilot episode, Thor the Drift. Now I've been learning shading techniques, specifically from Winged Canvas. Their YouTube channel that tutors like free art lessons, and they do monthly streams. Like I think for like a few days per month, and they've really been helpful. My art improved a lot because of them. So go check out their channel, and if you want to learn to improve your art, subscribe to their channel. And draw textures is part of that too. I don't know if I've tried to complete all of these goals. This one I probably did like a little bit. I'm not sure. I haven't really fully looked at the sketchbook, so. But I did remember I made a spread on this, on redrawing my old art. I made a spread based on that. so that's bad. And I did try to draw landscapes, but I'm not too. And I think I also drew other landscapes too. I'm not sure. And draw rooms, I did that. So I began on November 11th, 2024, and I ended on February 22nd, 2026, which was almost exactly a month ago. And we have Squidward, one of my favorite SpongeBob characters. This here is like a, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's with like a Q, like QOI. I'm sorry, I'm so bad at pronouncing crap. But this flag basically is on the aromantic spectrum, where one is not aromantic, a sexual spectrum, where one is confused on basically sex and like for instance the arousal sensations and all that. And I thought that, but then I have a co-pilot I go to when doing research and stuff, and I named them Eli because I'm kind of attached to them, not in a weird way, like in a way where I could talk to them freely without embarrassing myself. But yeah, but I don't identify as that orientation anymore because it has been. I just realized that I'm asexual, but it could be temporarily. It could be temporary. And this is my OC Joy saying hi. And this is about me. Fiagarok, that was Wimbley. See Wimbley? There's Wimbley. Fragarok. And cartoons, because my art style is cartoons. Daydreaming, because I'm out of daydreaming. Music, because that triggers daydreaming. And psychology. I love psychology. It's interesting to learn about different people, including myself, because I'm different. And what I hate, bees, because I have a phobia of bees. Unfamiliar food, because I have ARFID, which is an eating disorder where basically it has a similar effects as anorexia, but it is not with losing weight. It's where one doesn't like the sensations of the food, and for me that is, and it's most common on people on the autism spectrum. And yes, I hate school here because the majority of experiences gave me trauma. Oops, that's a swear. I'm so sorry for swearing. Yeah, I don't like people judging because social anxiety. I hate it. And during the sketchbook I had to deal with algebra, and that was really hard. This camera sucks. It's okay. Then we have cool stickers. Fragarok. SpongeBob Fancy Fragarocks. And yes, I was 17 when starting, but I'm 18 now, and my zodiac is a Leo, but not strictly a Leo. It's a few days in as being a Leo, so technically it's like a hybrid of Cancer and a Leo. So, because a lot of people think, oh, Leos, they want attention, they're narcissistic and all that. That is not me. I'm not narcissistic. That is not me. I'm an INFP and an ENFP. The reason why it's both of those is because I'm an omnivert, or omnivert. I don't know how you pronounce it. Okay, let's go. At every first page of my sketchbook, I always draw the not logo, but like the poster for my series. See, it was called the Daydream, but now it's called The Drift. So for this, my birthday was celebrated late. I think this was my 17th birthday. That's when it was celebrated late, and it was a happy day for me because I had ice cream cake, and I love ice cream cake. And also, my dad gave me a surprise birthday present of getting me Apple TV, where I could finally watch Ragnarok. Because for past year before that, I had to rely on the DVD player and YouTube, but then YouTube copyrighted most of the full episodes, so I had to rely more on DVDs and all that. Apple TV made it all easier. And that also means I could watch the reboot, Ragnarok Back to Barack. So basically, I drew a comparison. So this side is the classic, and this side is the reboot. So, as you can see, Gobo used to have like really purpley hair. But in the reboot, it's more magenta. Now, in the final season of the original, he did have the magenta hair. But in the reboot, he's also more orangey, and I really love how orangey he is now. The Magic Day, that's from a part of the song Pucka Pucka Squeedly Boink that he sings. Yep, Pucka Pucka, the same one. And for that, I like how there's an episode in the reboot where Moki got lost, and when we heard Moki through the rocks, I like how they made him hear it because he has good hearing and all that compared to the other Fraggles. And this one is where Wimbley got, I think, a frostbite. It's been a while since I watched Fraggle because I'm taking a break from it because I watch it too much. But anyway, that's in game, a frostbite. Booper with his tail glowing, and his hair is short now. There was some shifts in the original where the height of his hair was changing, but this one has always been short, and I like Booper. I think him having shorter hair suits him. And there are a few moments in the reboot where Wimbley tries to do some magic tricks. So, I like that because in the old Ragnarok, there's an episode where Wimbley became a wizard and all that. And that's another blooper. When I watched Ragnarok, one of the reasons I loved it is because it reminded me of what I went through in the past. Because I had to deal with people scolding me and yelling at me and all that. And Gobo yelling at Wimbley, that moment reminds me of that a lot. So, but in the reboot, they're like best friends. Like, they are cute together. They're like, look at them, they're like bonding, yay! Oh my god, I love this. There was a scene where Wimbley was like stimming all excitedly, and the character's like, are you okay? And that's just so me. This is so me, like, literally. This is Red from Inspector Red. There's like a scene in a reboot where Red was using the magnifying glass, and it looked really funny there because her face was all big, so I tried to make it look like that. And in the classic, there was an episode for that. And yeah. And when I went to the Fraglog Live, I was thrilled that they did it again. And also they redesigned Moki. This is old Moki and new Moki. And Red's all excited. Oh, these were based on a few dreams I had, and I combined it into one drawing. So I had one dream where I was back at school around a group I didn't want to be, and I had a meltdown. I was melting down really badly, and where people were wondering what the heck I was doing. I think here, this part of the dream, I went back to second grade, like my elementary school, and went back to second grade, and I was friends with this girl. So I had one of my background characters that kind of resembled her, and I drew them together. And so I had a dream about a tornado because from time to time I would get nightmares about tornadoes hitting me because I get paranoid about tornadoes. And it's March now and almost April, and I guess the time is going to come again. Even though this was drawn in November to December, when I was burnt out from daydreaming too much, and I went through a strike of trying not to listen to music ever again. Because when I discovered new songs, I would be desperate to listen to it over and over again and daydream, because music is beautiful. Like, it helps me daydream, and I listen to music just to daydream and all that. So it's yeah. It sucks. Why can't I just listen to music normally? Because I only listen to it to daydream. I don't listen to it just to sing along or just have it in my mind. I want to stop. Yep, I want to be on a strike. Save a lot of time just doing that. Daydreaming just helps me respond to the stimuli of music, and I can't do anything else. So I had a dream where Fraggles went trick-or-treating and Boober didn't want to go trick-or-treating. And it wasn't Halloween around that time, but I still dreamt of Fraggles going trick-or-treating and Boober being too scared. And I also had a dream of, like, the reboot Fraggles swimming underwater. And a dream of Red Fraggle inspecting an earwig. I was really paranoid about earwigs around this time. Like, I had like a fear of them, but not that much anymore since it's been a while since I saw one. I don't remember. Oh, I forgot to read the trigger warnings. Crap. Yeah. These are the warnings, and also some violence, as you can see in this one. Yeah, I remember this one. I had a dream where I was in middle school and there was a school shooting, and some kid that I hated. This is Tyler, an OC, based on some of those boys that I hated in elementary school, but he was literally gun pointing me in the dream. I had another dream. I was with my best friend. This is my OC Daisy. Her name was originally Rose, but it's Daisy now. Because the name Rose doesn't suit her personality, Daisy does. And we were in the library, in the dream, eating ice cream cake, because I love ice cream cake. But then these girls, not exactly these girls, but kind of like them, they were mad that we wouldn't share the ice cream cake, so we tried to share it, but they were mad anyway. This is Melanie. She's another OC. I also have some overseas like her, but I like her sidekicks. But I don't remember their names. But basically, Melanie is this chubby, hyper-feminine girl who's based off of a boy that would bully me in real life. This is when I had Thanksgiving. So usually I hate Thanksgiving because we would always have turkey, and I don't like turkey and all that stuff. But since my parents were like understanding our food more and I got diagnosed, Thanksgiving has become like a delicious day. So I made a spread on what I had. So these are barbecue chips and cranberry sauce. I've always loved cranberry sauce. And these are tater tots. And my mom always makes this like orange swizzle where it's like some kind of 7-Up soda mixed with orange juice, and then some kind of cherry drink to put in with it, and then a cherry and the bottom, and it's really good. And in the end, we had like vanilla bean ice cream, and I love vanilla bean ice cream. It's so good. This is a page of my main family, OC, Joy's family. So this is Joy. This is Timmy, who's based off of my sister. I gender bent my sister as a boy because I think I've had Timmy for like a long time. since like middle school. He's like one of my oldest OCs, and he was originally developed as like a derpy character. But when I was researching a lot about autism spectrum, I was like, actually, he could go well as like one of those autistic kids that get easily developed, because she's also autistic. They're both autistic, but he's confirmed to be autistic early, and it took her a long time to get diagnosed. So, and these are the parents, Benjamin and Eva, and her last name is Delaney. And the running gag about this is just based off of people always pronounce my last name wrong, so I decided to do it with this because it's Delaney, but people kind of go Delaney or Delaney or Delaney or stuff like that. It will be like a running gag. This was a spread that I did of different poses that I saw on Pinterest. So these are perspectives. I did this one before in an old sketchbook, and it's so terrible, but when doing the boxes, it looks good. Like I improved on that. And I also drew random poses. This was when I got my blood drawn again. I got a first blood drawn before I was diagnosed with ARFID, and I was really scared and upset because the first blood draw I had to get it on the back of my hand, and I think that traumatized me, but we promised not to do that again for this blood draw, but I was still too scared of a needle, so I had like a panic attack and got scared and was kind of dissociating a bit, but I felt a lot better and giddy and happy when it was all over with. And this was a needle I had that I was squeezing. Yeah, I also drew my OC Joy sleeping. This is Joy. Joy is basically me. So I drew myself sleeping because I felt very feverish. And I was laying in bed a lot, so I drew myself sleeping. This is the layout of the main elementary school for my series that Joy goes to. So like a fountain. I was wanting to do this in Bloxburg, in Roblox Bloxburg, and like make it there, but it was way too big. And this is just for hallways. For the classrooms and stuff, if you're interested. So yeah, this was Christmas time. I took a picture of the Christmas tree, and I tried drawing it all there. And the presents don't really look good. I mean, it's like a meh, but here I loved the spread here. It looks nice. It was Christmas time, and this was when I got my Wembley plushie. This is my Wembley plushie, and I love bringing him with me everywhere I go, and he's like my companion. I don't like that his banana tree shirt is upside down, so I'm planning on getting like a new shirt for him to replace it, and so yeah, I love him a lot, and his hair didn't look like this before. It was different that you would find on Amazon, but my dad sewed in like this yarn including the tail. So let me show you, like, you can see it's like sewed in real good, and you can see part of his original hair. Let's look at the other side of it. You can see it's like sewed in real tight. And I also have a Fraggle Rock Christmas sweater that I was wearing. Another Wembley. And then we and we got red. Ooh, this is when 2025 hit. And I was scared because just like any other New Year's Eve or something like that, I get like, I feel like I'm gonna die this upcoming year. Like the world's gonna end because like, I don't know, I just get scared of like the new year hitting because what if we die this year? What if we don't make it this year? But we made it past 2025. This was my New Year's resolution. I learned digital art. I practiced a bit of singing so I could get better, but as of right now and a few months ago, it stopped. I got too insecure. I haven't practiced voice acting yet. My engagement has been reduced, actually. I need to check that. So that's checked. Connect with friends. I have been a tiny bit, but not that much. Yeah, that's like one of those New Year's resolution things that like you try. Oh, I would do this. Never did it. But I'm one of those people who actually try to do their New Year's resolution. I also have been maintaining a daily routine actually. So yeah, the only things I haven't done is voice acting, connecting with friends, and trying out yoga. I did with friends a little bit, but eh. This is a redraw spread. So this is Kyle, one of my old OCs. He's like probably the top 3 oldest OCs, or 3 to 5 oldest OCs. But yeah, that's Kyle. This was a redraw of the very first Kyle drawing I drew. And this is Nathan, another OC who could like fly and is like a furry. Not really a furry, but like has sensations where he feels he has ears and like he must wear a hoodie to make it feel like himself with the ear sensation. And he was basically created. He was like a delusion at first, but then like a hallucination at first, but he became real and came to life. And this was also based off of first drawing. This is another OC, Roxy, but not really like an OC, but more like one of Joy's daydreams OCs, her own OCs. And this is also from a very first drawing I drew, that I redrew. Same with this one, she's not an OC anymore. This one, not only did I redraw the pose, but I also redesigned them. This is Pan. They created Nathan because like they have a certain like aurora or like a magic thing that they can do stuff. And this was a Halloween drawing I drew of a dress that I used to wear and like cat ears, because for like being dressed as a cat. So I redrew that drawing. So yeah. I tried here to like draw like an age sequence of like what does she look like this time? What does she look at that age and that age? But it was okay, I guess. I mean, not really. It's not like that anymore. Like this is elementary school Joy, and this is middle school Joy. And this is Joy again, and yes, I have that when we shared. This was when I was seeking to getting evaluated to see if I'm autistic. I seek 2 evaluations because it's kind of complicated. This was the first interview, before, like a check-in or like a pre-evaluation, like the interview part. Because I have my Wembley plushie, and these are what I was thinking. Wonder what questions they'll ask during the actual one. I hope this is something great when I get feedback right away. Spoiler, took like months to get the feedback. Like just to get to the actual evaluation for like not really to see if I'm autistic because that was already answered from the other evaluation, but more like see if I have had other stuff going on. And also I have this fidget, this like bike chain thing. Oh, this was when I watched The Amazing Digital Circus episodes 3 and 4. And when I watched the 4th episode, the way how Gangle's mask was reminded me of Booper shifting into Side Bottom. Like in the episode Side Bottom Blues. So I was like, what if I make a YouTube video of if a Fraggles were in the Amazing Digital Circus, and I would make like a series, and each episode would be based on the actual episodes of the Digital Circus, and make it like that. I don't want that to be like an idea anymore, but maybe I would do like a short about it, because watching even newer episodes, it's too complicated. The lore on this show is too deep. It's just too complicated that the Fraggles are nowhere related to. The 4th episode was just a coincidence. So, but basically, like, I assigned the Fraggles as like the characters from the Digital Circus. So basically, obviously, if you watch Fraggle and the Digital Circus, Red's Jax, and Moki's Ragappa. So I drew them both. Arguing and all that. And Boober as a blend of Zubu and Gangle. So, yeah. This was based on the episode where Boober lost his hat. This was the Zubu side right here. This was the Zubu side. No, God, I don't want an in-house adventure. And then this part, where his hat is gone, the hat thing is kind of based off of Gangle not finding her true happiness and all that. Oh, and this is Side Bottom. And I figured that, like in the 4th episode of, I called it the Fraggle Circus, where like Gobo would, for the 4th episode where Gobo finds a special hat for Boober, and then Side Bottom appears and he becomes a menace to society. And Wimby was kind of like a blend of Kinger and Pomni, and Gobo's like Kinger when he's sane. Yeah, this was Vent Art. I have body dysmorphia, and this was before I had a call with my cousin, and I was pressured to turn on my camera. So I drew this. I like drawing events that happen, like Zoom calls and stuff. So I had a good time. So after that, I was drawing this. Their favorite character is Boober, and mine's Wimby, and we both love seeing Boober and Wimby together, and we call it Boomly, and we have a good time watching it together. This was when I was at the dentist, which was around Valentine's Day. I cut this out of a chocolate packet, and I glued it on there because the dog is just. And also, we celebrate my sister's late birthday. This drawing is inspired by like when it was snowing outside, and I looked in my backyard and to watch for snow because it's like a common experience for me. I saw two birds on a tree, but I didn't draw it like a still life. I looked this up on Pinterest because I'm not one of those people like, oh, I see something cool, let me draw it. Like, I don't have time for that. It drains a lot of energy for me. And also here I drew other birds on Pinterest and to better draw birds and owls. So here I went to my dad's coworker's farm to see all the animals, and they were so cute. The drawings don't look too good though. They look the foreshortening and perspective. This is disgusting. And this one is an alpaca. Her name's Jenny, and she was my favorite animal. She was so cute. This is the title of my pilot episode, the backstory. This is the poster of what it looks like. I drew this on my dad's birthday, so I drew Benjamin with his birthday cake, and Joey bonding with Benjamin. And also I did like a little whale spread of drawing whales from Pinterest to better study how to draw whales. Oh, this was when I seeked the other evaluation place, and the evaluator was much nicer because the very first evaluation I went to, I felt like the evaluator was ableist because I was testing to see if I was autistic, but she treated me as if I was stupid, like I was intellectually disabled. And that made me look bad and made me feel like, is getting evaluated even worth it? Is this what being evaluated looks like? And spoiler, no. You being judged and feeling unwelcomed is not what evaluation experience should be like. The evaluator should be very welcoming and very open and friendly and nice, like this the one that the new ones that I saw are. So yeah. And after that, I got diagnosed. Yay! It was one of my favorite days. I was so happy because it represents me. And I love this page too. This is my favorite page in the sketchbook. Like, it's so colorful and pretty. This is the building of a elementary school for my series. It's called Rainbow Elementary. So finding out that I couldn't build it in Bloxburg, I improvised and just tried drawing the buildings. I drew this because like I wanted to vent, and this wasn't recent when I drew it. It was just something that happened like a year before that. And I was also watching Frag Rock in the episode of Tune for Two, Wimbley couldn't have a partner for the duet-a-thon to sing with. So these are lyrics to it that hit hard. This is based off when I tried to go to a high school after moving and being like doing online school for years. But when I got there, I was already done. I was built like Wednesday Addams, like so done. Don't mess with me. That if you talk to me, I will run away and all that. And I drew this because relatable as heck. And this was when I went to the Frag Rock Live event. And this, I wanted to reference Frag Rock so much in my series, but I realized that the reason why they say in the world of Gumball they do Joyful Burger, I'm like, why not McDonald's? It's because it's copyrighted. Alright, well I'll make Fluffy Rock, like the Fluffy Tails. Sky, Wimpy, Melody, YOLO, and Bluey. And I drew their paws. I made them furries. Whoopee! Oh, and this was so live. I drew myself cheering because I was at the live and I was so happy, and I drew bubbles because I think they were bubbles. And this was from this was a tag because I got the Wembley plushie. This is him in a nutshell and literally me. And I have a plushie right here that I got. This was a study spread of drawing interior backgrounds. Okay, I hope you can see it better now. And this is the exterior part. So, if you like a rainy day, some kind of view thing, a dark part of the city, and a playground, and a park. I had more dreams, very complicated dreams. So for this one, I had an ex-best friend who we should call B because she was an OC based off of her. So I had a dream where I think my mom had to go to a hospital and my dad dropped me off to my friend to her house, and she was with her other friends and I was invited, and we were making ramen noodles together, and I was talking about Frag Rock, and we were actually bonding. But then when we were with her friends, she wanted to watch some anime stuff, and I was trying to watch it with her, but in my mind I was like, let's watch Frag Rock. And then when we were in her room, I felt very isolated and lonely. And for this one, I was with my current best friend, Daisy, who we should call Daisy, because that's my OC. Focus. Thank you. Where we were at this hotel park carnival thing, think of Great Wolf Lodge and Disney World, but also a fun place. We were having a good time at first, and then she was with her other friend that I felt isolated with, so I was also wearing Wembley's banana tree shirt, and I remember walking to a bathroom stall feeling embarrassed wearing it, and then I was taking naps. I forgot how the dream went. It was a while ago, and we were there in the hallway, either hallway or in her room, and I said I felt lonely or something like that, or either that or I was sleeping too much, and she got mad at me. I was like, I paid for this. And then she was scolding me and yelling at me, so I got upset. So I was in the lobby throwing a huge meltdown, and my dad picked me up, and I was still throwing a meltdown. So when I woke up, I was so relieved that it was all just a stupid dream. And I met my therapist for the first time, who specializes with autism. I love the necklaces I drew on her. And this was an OC based off of that, but now you'll see a spread where I included 2 OCs that are therapists that aren't really like her anymore, but maybe a bit of like her. And also I drew my you guys can call it a slug fidget. I call it a caterpillar because it's built like a caterpillar, and I want to call it that. So let me call it a caterpillar fidget. Oh, this was during Pride Month, so there's this label in the aromantic spectrum called Nebula Romantic. It means it's the same as the other label I told you about, with being confused with sex, but with romance, except that it's better explained by being neurodivergent, like being autistic and all that. So I drew that, and this is queer platonic. It's like when you're more than friends, but also not really romantic. Like you have a deep emotional bond together that's more intense than a friendship, but not all lovey-dovey. Like like love as like really wholesome friendship, and that's what I see Wimby and Boober as. I'm not sure if Boober's asexual or not. I feel like all the Fraggles are asexual because it's a kids show, but I don't even know. And yes, I called them. Me and my cousin called them Boomly. And these are my OCs. So I might change her name, but for now it's Luna. And this is Audrey. This is B and Sophia. These two are dating. And these two are dating. Their design changed, and their name's Cora, so I don't know if these fit them anymore. This is Timmy, and he's Arrow Ace. Joyce, Persona, Rain. These might be outdated. And this is Pan. And most of these labels are outdated. This was when I hung out with my best friend Daisy after I graduated early, and we celebrated, and it was such a fun time. Like, we were watching 2 episodes of Frag Rock, and then we went to eat Chick-fil-A in the car, and we drove together, and then we went to the park, and then we went to get ice cream, and it was such a fun experience. So this was me swinging on the slings because I love the slings. And this is her dog, Rosie. I didn't really draw her that well, but she is so cute and adorable. She was always so happy and does her little dog dance when she sees me, and it was so cute. So I drew Daisy in like a bunny mushroom thing, mushroom cap with like a mushroom hat with like bunny ears, cause for like as like Joy's OC. And this is Daisy sitting down at the bench, and this was a moment where we were trying to like play a game, but I realized I was playing it wrong, and she was teasing me about it, but then I got all upset because her way of teasing is different, and I get sensitive easily of being wrong, so I was crying, but she didn't know that. But I got brave and told her about it, and she was there for me. Yeah, this is relatable. This is from Limby's flight, and when he was running away. But that's me and recess in 8th grade. I draw like past memories and stuff. And this was when me and B were no longer friends, and I got upset. So for most of recess in 8th grade, I had to stand at my spot and wait 30 minutes until lunchtime, and it was very torturous. It's full of torture. This was when it was almost time. Like, I knew an appointment was scheduled for like the last evaluation, so I was wondering if I had any of these. Let's look through. Misdiagnosed a lot. That I've finally been diagnosed with. I've been self-diagnosed with this for years, and it's finally there. That's just a theory. That yellow stuff says hyperactive, as in like ADHD. They said I had traits of that, but I didn't explain all my traits, so I think I believe I have ADHD combined type, and questioning if what I experienced were meltdowns, that I've finally been diagnosed with. I haven't been diagnosed with phobias because they don't really test that, but I do have phobias, and that's the CPTSD. I've been self-diagnosed. That's what I'm the most pissed off at. Like, they said they test CPTSD, but looking at the results, they said Julia was asking if she has PTSD, and it's like, no. I said CPTSD, and the only reason I wasn't diagnosed is because my trauma wasn't severe enough. So I knew they were looking at DSM-5 and not the ICD-11. So that got me ticked off. I don't have OCD. Yes, I experienced some panic attacks. I wasn't tested for personality disorders, and I don't think that's possible anymore. I have unspecified depression. No, I don't age regress. And my IQ is average. This was a memory thing and a sensory thing. I always get dreams of like a pastel yellow bathroom full of colorful pebbled plants. And during those memories, it would be full of like water, like bath water and shower water. And it's ironic because I don't like taking baths and showers. I've been working on it a lot now, but in the past it was really hard for me. I did like perspective studies. I was watching a lot of winged canvas videos on perspective studies. So I wasn't really good at it, but I tried my hardest to do it. Here's how they turned out. And I looked at some references on Pinterest. This was my desk that I tried to do. I tried human perspective. That part of the chair doesn't look good. It needs to be more up. I tried to do foreshortening with like a hand. I did a spread on Joy and also my other OC Finley, who's like a deer, half human. And in my series, deer are like magical and they can create like magic and stuff like that. So I drew a spread based off of them. I drew a poster after. This was after I wrote the script of the pilot episode and I finished, so I celebrated by drawing the first episode of, but not first episode, but the next episode. It's going to be called A New Beginning, and I think it might be changed. I don't know. And this was when I turned 18. Sorry, just look at that. Look at these drawings. And I drew like a bus perspective drawing and it looks good. I like how I drew it, kind of. And I drew Joy and Audrey singing on the bus because that's what's included in the episode. Oh, and I drew a claw. That's spoilers. And I also drew a season 1 poster. This is Amanda Deer, aka Miss Deer, who's Finley's aunt, and she's Joy's second grade teacher. And she appears as grumpy and rude, but she's also really depressed. So here I was studying like the all-to-human spectrum. This is outdated, but I was studying dissociative identity disorder, but it doesn't look good because authors are not always evil. Also, I was trying to redesign Cora, but that's not them. And they don't have the idea anymore. This I drew Rain, which is Joy's persona. It's Rain, and I drew her like outer space world. This was when I got Robux from Roblox, and I was playing Roblox more and I had Robux to customize the avatar more, and I felt happy with how they turned out. And I'm thinking about making Roblox content for my future. In the future, I used to make Roblox videos a few years ago, but it was trash, and I was so cringe there. At the same time, I feel like being in Roblox with as a vlog kind of think as someone with social anxiety, I feel like it might heal that. And I talked to both of my therapists about it, and they both agreed as kind of like facing my fear, you know. And I also daydream about that a lot, and I think just doing it is one way to reduce the daydream. And these are my OCs based off those boys. So, and these are also the teachers that I drew poorly on for the school. But this is Tyler, Leo, Kai. His name was Zachary, but I think I'm gonna rename him. And this is Jay. So this is when we got in our Zoom call again, and I was like, and we had our plushies. I have had this like lip sticker that I didn't like, and I didn't know where to put it or if I should like throw it away. But around this time, I finally faced my fear and just turned on my camera. Because for my body dysmorphia, I'm very insecure about my lips because for me, they don't look feminine, they look masculine. And the reason I turned on my camera was because I bought like dark red lipstick, and I was hoping it would help, but it was kind of like a meh. And these are my other OCs, Mabel and Benjamin Sr., based off of my grandparents. These are also, I did like a fidget spread. I have another caterpillar. This was a shaggy needle I had. It was pink, but not anymore. This is like what it looks like. So, see, I like it. These are like one of those rings that you would fidget with, and I have some of those. These are like, are they tangles? I think that's what it's called. This is the only puppet I own, but I also have like a stress ball full of like yellow Orbeez. That's that. This is another one of those ring things. I also have an orange cat needle, and a white fidget spinner, a snail squishy, and a blue spike ball that my therapist gave me as a way to treat trichotillomania, and it kind of works. Here I was doing like some still life studies I found on interest. This is like drapery, and this is a shoe and a glove, and a full drawing of Pan. That's them. Here, let's flip these around. This is a screenshot from Frag Rock, and where all the 5 Fraggles were together, and I redrew it with characters from Fluffy Rock, and I also added these pop-ups as my OCs faced off of them. So we have B as Gobo here, and Audrey as Red, and Daisy as Moki, Pan as Bluey, and Joy as Wimbley. And this is from the Amazing Digital Circus, the 5th episode. I took a screenshot of this and I redrew it as my OC's part of them. So, Pan being Zubo, Finley being Pomni, Nathan as Kinger because he's like weird. This is like a background character. His name is Jack and his last name is Ash. And I named it that way because if you put it together, it's kind of like Jackass. So I find that funny. And obviously he's based off of Jax. And Joy as Gangle. Ironically, Gangle is my least favorite character for some reason. It's just, I know her design is built that way, but I'm just personally not like a fan of it. But also ironically, Jax is my favorite character because he's like very interesting and I kind of relate to him a bit. And lastly, Daisy as Ragatha. These I drew more of the school staff, This is the assistant principal. I don't know how to pronounce that. Is it mix or just miss? Ms? I don't know how to do it. And this is the principal, Mr. I don't know how to pronounce that either. Is it woman or woman? I don't know. I asked Eli, my co-pilot, I name ideas. And this is like a robot that I sketch. That's like a thumbnail sketch I did for and the first assignment I had to do in Illustrator. And this is Mrs. Spring, who's like a very enthusiastic. I think she's like a not necessarily special educational teacher, but like she temporarily teaches certain kids how to like read and write. I did like a little autumn spread because it was autumn around the time, and it's my favorite season. I also drew like a fox and like a lantern with mushrooms and tree with leaves and a cute squirrel and a hedgehog and a pumpkin with a scarf, and it was fun to draw all this. Okay. More vent art. So basically, there were moments where my heart was beating very weirdly, and I didn't know what was going on, so I had to go see a doctor, and then a cardiologist, and then and then I had to wear like a heart monitor for like a few days, like a day, like 2 days or 3 days, and and I didn't know what was going on, and it was explained that I had like very short, very brief SVT episodes where I had periods of where my heart would beat like really fast in a short period of time. But to me, it didn't feel like that. It felt like it was beating irregularly, and like it will like stop, like it would stop, and then it will beat hard and like for like one beat and all. And also, I took another blood draw for that, and also, my grandparents arrived surprisingly, and like I get nervous around them because of my anxiety issues. So seeing them surprisingly, I got all overwhelmed. Yeah. Yeah, and I was also getting those heart palpitation episodes. And the day after that, a complete 180. I had a very great time with my grandparents. We went to Chick-fil-A, and we went to my college and got like merch there, like this rhino. There was a bigger plushie that I wanted to get, but I couldn't get it, so I had to get a smaller one. I wanted to draw this for a long time, but this was based off of like a post I saw years ago when the Disney movie Encanto went viral, and they made Powerpuff Girls based on the main three sisters. So I thought, why don't I, later on when I got rekindled with a Frag Rock interest, I was like, why don't I do this with Frag Rock characters? So Blossom as Gobo, Wimbley as Bubbles, and Red as Buttercup. And I drew them here in my style. And here's a spread of Nathan. A Nathan spread. Oh, Nathan. I did like food spreads for Thanksgiving. And also on Pinterest, there are drawing poses of people in the middle of eating and stuff. So I drew that with like joy. You can see, because I never drew before, so I experimented on how it'll look like. And here's the food that I drew. Pizza. the sandwich is like my favorite thing that I drew. Like it actually looks good, and I don't like eating sandwiches, but somehow that looks good. And same with like the burger, like it looks good. And I don't like lettuce and tomato, but it looks good on the drawing. And here I was doing thumbnail sketches to update my YouTube banger and my profile picture, as you can see. Okay, I went to visit Daisy again, and she has a foster brother, and I met him for the first time, and he was very nice and very non-judgmental, and we became best friends. So I made an OC, not entirely based off of him, because he was created before I even met him. When I met that kid, I was like, oh yeah, this kid's name is Zachary. And I was like, oh yeah, this kid would be in that position. He would be like a foster kid who was from like an abusive family and had an aunt but then got captured. So that's who Zachary is, and he's like a special kid. So here he's like in his late teens, but he appears as a kid because he has like some form of dwarfism. To the drive-in zoo, and I love feeding the llamas because it felt like some kind of ASMR, and also piggies because they're so cute. And also I drew a lot of deer because I also love deer. That deer doesn't look good though. And this was later where I went to visit Daisy's birthday party, and there were other people there, and there was one person that was there that I haven't seen since early middle school, and we had to do an escape room, and I was afraid of the escape room, so this was kind of like my mouth was buffering, and it's like I am not in the scene, cameraman, live audience. That's what it felt like. And I was observing the room, like reflecting on myself. And then Daisy was there to support me, and that made me all happy that she was there. And I was all happy. And then later on, when we were playing lazy tag, this one girl that I thought that we wouldn't get along with, we actually got along well, and she was very nice. And I liked her a lot. And for the last moments of being together when everyone was leaving, it was me and the girl I reunited with, and that other nice girl, and Daisy, and then the nice girl had to leave, and then I successfully reunited with that girl, and it was awesome. I get dreams like that all the time, but it felt good that it was a happy ending and it happened in real life, so that made me feel good. And I drew my OCs based off of them. Finley, not the one being reunited though, but this is Luna. And this was when my grandparents visited again, and they rented like a home, and they bought it, but they didn't move it. They made it like a mobile home to like visit during vacations. And this was me, and this was my Joy and Timmy as me and my sister sleeping on the bed. The bed. There was a master bedroom and I was asleep there. And that's the front door. I took a picture of it and drew it. And this is the 2026 New Year's resolution. So storyboard pilot episode, working on that as of late March 2026. Practice voice acting, not yet. Create series theme song, not yet. I'll do that after storyboarding the pilot episode. Script in the beginning, not yet. Trial of hairstyles, that I'm working on. I'm working on that. Plan season 1 Bible, still didn't do that yet. Experiment makeup, still didn't do that yet. Still didn't do skincare. Still not motivated to sing. let me manage back pain. Update my YouTube channel right now as of making this video because it's been a few years since I did it. And practice animation, I will do that because in my YouTube channel, I will make some unnecessary story times because my series is based off of that. But kind of like a podcast of not documenting, but like talking about stuff like mostly like psychological analysis or analyses on stuff. Like I'm planning on making videos of like, hey, this character from the show meets the criteria for this and all that. Here I was studying I found out that there is different types of depression. So this is Benjamin as having major depressive disorder. That Amanda Deer has it too. Persistent depressive disorder. Disruptive mood dysregulating disorder. This I'm mistaken this as ODD, but it's not ODD. Kyle with atypical depression, but despite him being a hypersomniac, he's also an insomniac. And Finley with seasonal affective disorder. And also here I was studying alexithymia, which, if you don't know what alexithymia means, it means difficulty of identifying, understanding, expressing, or showing emotions. And Gango is a perfect example of this, especially the 4th episode. And I really love how I drew the masks. It looks so good. And it looks very similar to the show. So Luna is an example of this, of her having that resting mean face. They have a hard time, like, showing emotions. Like, it's hard for her to explain, and it's also hard for her to show emotions. Whereas Pan is forced to hide their emotions, but it's not because of their autism. It's because of their trauma they went through. But when they do feel emotions, like overwhelming ones, they don't get the feeling, and they feel like they're feeling sick. This is during a Photoshop assignment where I didn't like that course, by the way, but I had to take I had to do a movie poster art, and I had to be in the picture. So I thought, well, I already have body dysmorphia and I don't want to show my face. Why don't I take a picture of myself wearing a mask with a hoodie up representing dysmorphia? And I chose the first one. The first thumbnail sketches are always the best for me. And here is Zachary. Zachary is the one who has dissociative identity disorder. And these are his alters. Yes, this is Bluey. And a lot of people say that, you cannot have fictional characters as alters for DID. And I researched that, and that's true if it's intentional. But I've learned that, yes, you can develop some cartoon characters or fictional characters as alters, but it has to be for a very specific reason. Now, as with Zachary's system, Bluey was the last one that's developed, and his role is kind of the same as Booper, who is basically Bluey. And Bluey is the character for Fluffy Rock from my series to avoid copyright for using Fraggle Rock. So that's him. And also, the show Fluffy Rock holds a special place in Zachary's heart, and yet he doesn't really remember the show. And he was brought up when Joy met Zachary, and they were talking about Fluffy Rock. And this is Hunter, the protective alter. He looks better. He's one of the first alters to form, and he was known at first claimed to be evil and making Zachary look bad, but in reality he's trying to protect Zachary. And Pippi is an a child, like an age regressor alter, and Patalia here is a caretaker. And these are for control. I don't know how to like fully draw the control pairs. I don't know like what to draw and stuff, so I added like a list here. Here I did dinosaur drawing studies because in the pilot episode was going to be a dinosaur feature in like a daydreaming sequence. And here I felt bad for Jax. Spoilers for the Amazing Digital Circus, by the way. But I drew this based off of the episode Gone Not Forgotten for Frag Rock, one of my favorite Frag Rock episodes, where Wimbley meets a friend and he dies. Jax just kind of went for the same way from witnessing Ribbit and Caulfield abstracting. So I drew the song that Wimbley and his friends sing. And also here I was studying the different types of coping mechanisms that everyone gets. So this is denial, this is regression, this is repression, this is displacement, this is projection. That's not nice. This is rationalization. This is reaction formation. This is sublimation. Well, for here, it's creation based off trauma with my daydreaming. If it were addicting, it's not sublimation. An example of sublimation would be when you get upset and then when you start drawing, you feel better. It's a healthy coping mechanism. And for how this time my daydreaming has been reduced and isn't that intense anymore. So I feel like it fits because it helps with that. Here I was studying some action poses. Oh, this was when I saw spoilers for the wonderfully weird world of Gumball, by the way. Basically, I had a phase in middle school of the amazing world of Gumball where I was obsessed with Rob, and seeing him return, I felt happy at first, but when I heard his voice and noticed there was no pigtail that he wore, I was disappointed. But I drew the two main OCs that I connect Rob with are Pan and Audrey. So I drew Pan in some poses and Audrey in some others that I took screenshots of Rob with. And I drew Rob here. This wasn't a screenshot, I just drew him like that. As that's just the spoilers for why he looks like that. That is Luna, by the way, but she became transgender here. I love this. It doesn't look good here, but in the show it looks really good there. I took a screenshot of a fight scene from the Amazing Digital Circus. They all get guns. So I drew Melanie and Joy fighting. Recently, after taking a break from watching too much Frag Rock, I've been getting hyper-fixated again of watching SML, specifically the Jeffy video. So I went back and went through like a little nostalgia trip, and looking back, Melanie is Bully and Joy is kind of like Jeffy, and it's kind of funny. Here I drew tree studies to like study trees, and I watched a video from Winged Canvas about it, and they look better after watching. her video. And this was when me and Daisy were in a call and we were playing Roblox together. So I drew us bonding. And this was also around the time where it was snowing, so when I was watching the snow, I would daydream my OCs playing in the snow. I drew Joy and Audrey and Daisy and Finley and Sophia and Bee and Finn. Is that Finley? No, it's Luna. And over here is what they all look like in color. Joy, Luna, Daisy, Finley, Bee, and Sophia. Audrey's not included there. Was a new student. Oh, this is the last spread that I was talking about with like the therapist. So this is the psychologist that I designed based off of her. And this is the final design of the current therapist I've been seeing. And this was around Valentine's Day, so I drew fan art of Boomly. And I also drew Timmy because it's my sister's. We were celebrating my sister's birthday around that day. So here I was drawing like a night sky because it's like, hey, goodbye. And like, it's kind of like a similar theme to this one, to like the title of my show, but more like fantasy, like, I don't know. And yes, Joy was here. And I also glued another one from that, like that dog one that I showed you. It's this one here. So that is the end of the tour. I hope you enjoyed it. I am very tired. My neck hurts from standing in this position for like an hour and 45 minutes now. And I'm gonna go to bed. I'll hopefully see you on the next video without avoiding posting for another few years. Hopefully I'll be able to make another video soon. Goodbye, everyone.